Hey guys, Justin here, welcoming you to OtakusandGeeks.com reviews, and once again we're continuing our winter anime season coverage, and today we are going to be covering episode 2 of School Babysitters. As you saw from episode 1, my episode 1 review, I was just absolutely shocked and blown away about how good the show was. And episode 2, thankfully, did not do a tone shift by not having dramatic elements and just went full comedy and just started being over the top silly. This one is actually keeping it close to grounded into reality with adult situations and just situations in general that can happen to little kids as well, which I really am appreciating. Episode 2, we do get an introduction to some a new character, which I didn't really care for until later on when I rewatched it a second time. And that character is your typical, and I hate to keep talking about the cliches, but it's kind of hard to not notice. It's your typical smarty, everything is by the book, class rep character where the person is just so immersed on books, and there doesn't seem to be any redeeming qualities to them besides the educational system, and that's all they know is study, being on time, and just being very punctual. And it's not until Ryuichi has to go to class that the kids actually follow him, because the kids are really attached to him and they want to be with him at all times. So he gets in trouble because the kids are not supposed to be in the middle school, so he has to take them back. And what happens is that the girl, everybody was getting on her for being so harsh because she was like being a little mean to the kids and to Ryuichi. And then you find out later, and this is just not spoilers, something happens and she breaks down and the layers of her character start to open up a little bit more. Maybe throughout the season we'll get a little bit more of her, but for now she really didn't do it for me. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully she'll become more of a likable character. But I will say the highlight of episode 2 once again is the kids, and definitely Ryuichi. And this story here, the main story is that the kids decide, the kids are taking a trip to the zoo because once again Taka, who is my favorite kid out of all of them, Taka, I love Taka because Taka is just this smart ass of a child. He's such a smart ass. He goes to Ryuichi's brother Kotaro. He goes, "You're wearing a tiger shirt, but you've never seen a tiger." He starts making fun of him and everything else. And it wasn't until his brother Nichan says that's wrong, and he starts hitting him. And so there's this whole big subplot in episode 2 with Nichan and Taka, and Taka and Nichan is not saying how much he actually loves his brother. He's always, in these first 2 episodes, he seems to be harsh, that he doesn't really care about him and everything else. Like, he's a nuisance to him, and Taka is trying so hard to get his big brother's affection. That's the main subplot of episode 2, but it really and it's more of the dramatic beats of the episode 2, because you're trying to see that your little brother's trying to get, with anybody who's a bigger brother, or anybody who has a little brother, or just a younger sibling, younger cousin, they usually try to get your acceptance. They want your validation. In this episode, that's what Taka really wants. He wants his brother's validation, that you love him, you like him. He wants to be accepted by his brother, and it's a nice dramatic beat that happens towards the end where Nichan doesn't say it, but you can tell he's like, "Look, you're a pain in my ass, but I don't hate you," and everything else. So it's a nice dynamic how these guys are always fighting back and forth, these 2 brothers. And that's the whole episode theme of it, is the bonding of brothers. You see it between Ryuichi and Kotaro, and you see it between Nichan and Taka. And one thing I did really do is that once again, the parents, the teachers, they are present in the child's life, which I thought was really good. They not just one scene from last week where they just pick them up all the time. No, they're actually involved with the kids and everything else, which is also a refreshing thing. I say this anime is working for me because it's grounded in realism. I think this is situations that can happen to anybody. There is a little scary situation in this episode when it comes to Taka. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's probably every parent's worst nightmare, especially when you're in the zoo or something like that, and the child, you're not looking, and that's all I'm going to say. But it's a really solid entry to this episode. Once again, more heart, and I did love the opening This is the only spoiler I'm gonna say. I love the opening of this episode where Ryuichi is told to put on a school uniform, and he starts breaking down because for once again, it feels like he's at a new place and he's finally getting comfortable. Like, man, this is home. This is life now. Yeah, my parents are gone, but that scene once again hit me again because the music also once again really hits the tone and really is going to hit your emotional beats. But the kids are what really makes this show so great, and not to mention the brilliant writing. Once again, we're going to give this a rating of watch it, put it in your queue, or skip it. Definitely, once again, School Babysitters, keep watching it, guys. It's just getting better and better, and I'm curious to see how they're going to expand with characters and get more backstory, but so far, so good. Nice, solid entry. This is Justin from otakusgeeks.com saying later days. If you liked the video, give us a like. Comment, have you watched the episode? What did you think about it? Are you liking this show so far? And of course, please visit otakusgeeks.com. Check out our reviews, interviews. We cover everything from anime to zombie, red carpets, the whole enchilada. Later days.